Everyone has bad habits lingering over their shoulders. Some are like ticking time bombs, making silent prayers through breaths of tobacco. Some are less decaying, but just as heart-stopping, like misplacing your car keys at the most inconvenient moments. Some habits are seeds planted early that cause just as much of an ache in your chest as the others, mistaking red flags for red roses.
The pink and blue shots juxtapose to the orange warm shots, which is absolutely marvelous. The choreography is breathtaking alongside the dialogue, which is poetic in itself. This whole video incorporates so many forms of art that work well together. The story is relatable to a lot of queer women. There's always a struggle in being in a same-sex relationship in that only those in a same-sex relationship can understand.
Think about cycles continuing. We think about generational trauma. This piece is very poetic. It is not necessarily black and white, but there is this core focus of the two dancers as they are surrounded by this sense of black space. And we're diving into how do we break away from these different patterns that we face. We oftentimes don't want to carry on certain ways of life, and how often do we come together to try to break away from it?
Unpacking wisdom about patterns, why we have them, how we use them. The scenes of joy contrasted with sadness and frustration. Beautiful chemistry between all the couples. We have some daily interactions of love and also heartbreak. Great lighting, amazing performances.
Toxic relationships. It consists of a series of images that very beautifully tell the story of this young woman that is going through a few relationships in her life that really hurt her, and she suffered a lot from. And the whole film as a voiceover reciting a poem. The movie is very elegant and it's heartbreaking. And most of all, I think it's very relatable.
The message that I got from this film is just the relationships between people. Our relationships can have up and downs. How can sometimes be difficult being together, but also how much satisfying it is to just get together again after a breakup. And also at the same time, these shorts also sends the message that sometimes it's just not possible to go back together, and we have to take separate ways. I think it was very powerful and very deep. And as I say, that the mix between the music and the performance is what really gets you and keeps you there.
I like the narration that appears, that presents itself as a spoken word monologue. I like how that the narration directly correlates with the visuals. I liked the separation that's presented visually of what seems to be memories, which is sort of presented with the film, camera style footage, and the contemporary piece, which is shot on a sort of regular camera.
I found the steadiness of her voiceover and the steadiness of her kind of tone and her delivery. I found it really, really, really settling. And then as we were watching different kind of scenes and scenarios and things play out, that, you know, obviously kind of loop back to and link back to what she's saying ultimately. But, you know, those are little snippets of, you know, different parts of a life. And I found, like I said, her voiceover really, really settling, really, really grounding to kind of help absorb what I was watching. So I thought that was really, really, really well done. I also loved the message of, you know, these patterns, and people a lot of the time get trapped into kind of repeating the same patterns but expecting a different outcome, or maybe not even expecting, but repeating the same things but ultimately, truly, they desire a different outcome deep down, and that isn't what's happening. They, if they want something else to happen, they have to do something else.